So it's Thursday, April 4th. The market's closed now, okay? It closed at 1 o'clock. You have to remember, this is Eastern time, right? Um, sorry, it's I'm trading the NASDAQ, so, I'm looking at Eastern time. Right now it's 4:36 right now. And, okay, I just wanted to show you something here. Okay, you see my, what is it? My First Majestic Silver Corp right there, okay? You could see that, it's risen quite a bit, right? There he is right there. The $1,510 profit so far. But like I say, I have to close the position to get that profit, right? But yeah, I think just yesterday I showed you $1,000 profit from it yesterday, and well, today another $500, right? So it's really rallying, okay? There was a slight pullback this morning, okay? But I bought another 4 options, each option worth 100 shares, okay? And so I got 400 shares, okay? I think the highest I saw it go up to was maybe $40 today. But that's I just wanted to point out something here that's kind of important. So it's always good to hop on board a particular stock when it's rallying, right? Because you can make a lot of money from it, right? And I was just watching another YouTube video of this person talking about how to make money in the biotech stocks, okay? And he was saying how you have to buy stock under $4 or $5, okay? Why? Because if you buy a stock that's trading above that, you won't be able to buy that many shares. Likely you won't. You just have to have a bigger account, right? But that's where the advantage comes in if you know how to trade options, okay? Like I took a position of First Majestic Silver, okay? 1,000 shares, okay? And then, I had to pay the option of about 380 Canadian dollars to control 1,000 shares, okay? And, had I bought individual shares of it, okay, 1,000 shares, it would have costed me a lot more money. Basically, probably, between around $4,500, put it that way, okay? So, you can see the power of options there, right? But you have to remember, a lot of people cannot wrap their head around how it works, okay? There's a lot of information on the internet, right? There's people that are saying, oh, don't trade options, oh, they're not good, oh, they're too hard to understand. But, once when you learn how to do it, it's really not that hard, okay? It's almost like, I think people have sometimes compared it to a lottery ticket because there's an expiration date on it, okay, on a lottery ticket. And, you're picking numbers, okay, and, if those numbers come up, yeah, you win a lot of money, right? And, after a particular date, right, it becomes worthless, right? So, it is, what is it? It is kind of interesting, okay, just learning about it, okay? Because remember too, okay, you're picking up a new skill in life too, right? You're learning how to trade options, okay? I read this book, I forget the author of it, but I think the title was Get Rich with Options, okay? And then this man in there was saying how he was buying stocks that he wanted to own, okay? And what you're doing is you're getting it at a cheaper price, okay? Because you're deciding what the strike price is. So basically what price you're going to pay for it, okay? So if the stock, say for instance, it runs what is it? From maybe your strike price is $5, okay? And then the stock goes all the way, over $10, maybe $10.50, okay? So what he's doing, okay, is okay before the expire, or actually on the expiration date, okay, he wants that particular stock, so he'll buy, say for instance he bought 1,000 shares, okay, he sells 5 options, he sells 500 shares, and then he buys the other 500 shares with his profit, okay. You saw how that worked, right? The stock doubled in value. He used his profits to buy 500 shares, and then he sold another 500 shares for profit. Okay. So there's lots of different strategies that you can do. Okay. And I've read numerous books on trading. But everybody is trying to sell you their strategy, right? And you know, um, some of the strategies, okay, are actually worth learning, right? And just get into understand how it works, okay? Remember I told you about Ricky Gutierrez, okay? Um, he always trades the NASDAQ in the morning, okay? The guy makes, on average, a lot of times between maybe $7,000 to $15,000 every morning, okay? Maybe some morning he loses, okay? But in the end, okay, like I'm talking about last October, okay? He made 280,000 US dollars, pretty nice, okay? You have to remember, a lot of people don't even make close to that, right? And, a lot of times he's just trading in the morning, the first maybe hour and a half, 3 hours, hour and a half to maybe 3 hours at the most, okay? And, he's cashing out with sometimes, $16,000 US, $17,000 US. Um, you have to remember too, a lot of people I know that go to casinos, I don't think they even, take in a profit. A lot of them, okay, a lot of them are, losing, right? But remember too, like sometimes people say, have asked people, okay, is trading gambling? Okay, in a way it is, okay, to a bit, but at least you're owning a part of something. You're owning part of a company, okay? Not like when you're at the blackjack table, right? The outcome is decided really quick, maybe after like 2 minutes, okay? You found out whether or not you won or lost the hand or tied the dealer, right? But in trading, it's different, okay? You're actually, well, studying a company, finding out, if they're a profitable company, what type of business they do, right? Um, is the company making money? You can look at their financial reports, okay? You can take a look at their year-end reports, and you can see, how the company is doing, right? I said to, it's quite important just knowing how to read a balance sheet, a yearly end balance sheet, or even a quarterly balance sheet, right? Because, say for instance, okay, I'm talking about Netflix, okay? Like if you knew how to read their balance sheet, okay, you could see that, yeah, they're making this much money this quarter. They beat the previous quarter by $300 million, right? You're finding out, okay, what's their net profit at the end of the year, right? After deducting all expenses, right? That sort of stuff is really important. Just because, you want to see what the company's spending money on, right? How much the CEO is making in a year, right? And just where all the other money expenses is going to, okay? All that is quite important, okay? And, you know, if you learn stuff like that, you know, you can um, kind of like deduct whether or not, okay, this is a good company. You know, they're growing at um, a 10% rate every year, or maybe 20% rate, right? And you know, you're figuring out, oh, this company's making money. You know, I want to hop aboard this company and own some shares in this company and go for, well, ride the company as it continues to grow and make money, and it's getting bigger and bigger, right? A lot of people don't know this, okay, but um, Samsung, okay. Now I'm going back all the way to before World War II. Samsung was um, they were a grocery store of about 14 employees, okay, and who would have thought, okay, somebody who's a company that's um, in tech, okay, started out as a grocery store before, 14 employees. Okay, you would have thought, okay, they would have been involved in some sort of, you know, tech-related business, and then you know they grew into Samsung. But no, you know, they started off as a grocery store. I heard, you know, before World War II. Okay, Toyota, they used to be a wall carpet company before, and then they sold that company, and then they got an engine shipped from the United States. They kept all the same workers, I heard. The engine came in a crate. They unpacked it. The workers were looking at the engine, okay, at the warehouse, and they were thinking, okay, how can we mass produce this engine and make just make lots of cars with Toyota engines in it, okay? Just mass produce it, almost like what Henry Ford done with his vehicles in the United States. So look how big Toyota is now, right? Um, you know, had you invested even maybe one of your paychecks a long time ago into shares of a company, and just I'm not sure if you're able to pass your shares down to future generations, but let's say, for instance, you can. Okay, you know, look how much those shares would be worth right now, right? It would be worth probably in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million, right? And you know, just whenever you need money, well, just maybe just sell a couple of shares uh, of your company, right? Um, so you know, that's what I'm trying to get across to some people. There are some companies out there, okay? Like I'm talking about 20 years from now. They're good companies, but 20 years from now, they're going to be even bigger, okay? That's why, too, you know, some of the younger people, okay? You know, if they buy these shares, okay, you know, they'll still be fairly young when, you know, 10 years or 15 years later or 20 years later. But for a person like myself, I'm a lot older now. Um, it wouldn't be worth like holding on to shares like that, just because um, you know, I'll just be a lot older, and uh, my style in trading has changed a bit, just because I'm a bit older. If I was younger, yeah, I would maybe change my trading style, but I'm quite a bit older right now, so I just trade a different way right now.